Hello, hello. We are back after several weeks, but we are back on track this time. We know we are a few minutes late. We had some technical difficulties. The devil tried to keep us from getting on here tonight. That's all right.
We
We
are
made
here. We are here.
We're going to give it a few minutes and let some people join. LaQuinda, you had a busy day today.
I did. This is actually some of the busiest time, one of the busiest times of year for me. Um, so today was pretty busy. What about you?
It was busy. I don't know why I made my schedule the way I did. I had a 30-minute break and then I ended up only with 15 minutes.
We've had that conversation before.
I think it was because I was only going to work 2 days this week and
That
then I
makes,
was going to be off the rest of the week because we have a church trip coming up. But my husband had to go out of town, so we're not going to get to leave until later on Wednesday. So that's why I think I packed my schedule like that.
yeah, you do that to yourself.
Hmm.
But things always come up for you anyway. So,
I am so excited about Carf. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful.
yes, congratulations again.
Thank
That's
you.
a big deal.
Yes, it is. I have got to get Brittany to announce it on our social media page. We finally got our certificate in the mail.
Good.
Hmm.
So, just for people who don't know, can you just kind of explain what that means for resolutions?
Oh, that's huge. So now we can apply to become a behavioral health agency. If we're approved for that, which I don't see why we wouldn't be, we'll be able to hire people right out of school. So, like LMSWs, LACs, we'll be able to hire case managers and offer some more services to the community.
Come on, expansion.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
a big deal.
excited.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's major.
So
And
listen,
it's
we
a
have
lot.
a few. Oh, yes. Well, we've been working on this for at least a year.
Hmm.
A few viewers, when you come in, please let us know that you're here
Yes,
and
say
like
something.
and share. There is a community block party this weekend, and resolutions will be giving away a basket during the block party. So
Hi, Soretta. When is that?
it's Saturday. I really don't know what time it starts, but they've been posting it. It's all on Facebook.
Okay.
It was the first year was last year, and we were out of town on vacation, but I hear it was really successful, and I hope it's a success this year too.
Mhm.
Hi, Zaretta. If you all would share our live um, to let people know that we're on tonight. If you'll comment when you come on, let us know where you're viewing from. Looks like we have 7 people from Resolutions and 2 from Cromwell. Tonight we're going to be talking about respect and boundaries.
Mm.
Let me see.
See if I can tag a few people. So I know it's been a while since we've been on here. Um, but life life happens,
Yes.
and we get off track. Uh, but we're back, and we are going to make the best of it. So when you come on, just say hi, let us know you're here. Give us a little check in, let us know how you've been, what you've been up to. I have been let's see, working, did take a vacation.
Yeah.
Uh which was amazing. Got to go see my daughter while she's away. That was a good time. Got to see my nephew who plays AAU basketball. So yeah, I've been enjoying life.
Good. Now
But
I'm just gonna be honest
yeah,
with y'all. LaQuinda was always ready and available to go live. It was me, just full transparency. I think I told y'all the last time I got on here, I was down. I had some stuff going on with my family, and I was just a little down and not really motivated to do lives. Plus, my children were playing softball and baseball, and so that took a lot of my time. And by the time we would get home, it would be too late.
but like I told Yolanda, I understand. Like we're at two different places in mothering, and so I'm freer to be available. So I don't feel a way if she's not available, and I don't want her to feel bad um when she doesn't have the capacity to go live, because it's a lot. Like she does this all day every day, and she has other hats that she wears in addition to being a therapist, wife, and mom, a community leader and baseball coach and all this other stuff that she has to do. And so it's nothing. I don't be tripping, and I don't like when she feels bad um in the slightest, because she doesn't have it. Sometimes she doesn't need to. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, like I stay on her about even her daily schedule, because she puts so much on herself. Um that it's not always good. So sometimes she does need to pull back, and I'm okay with that, because I'm following her lead on this. This is not my baby. This is her fourth child. I'm a godparent.
And
So
I thank you for it.
jump in to assist. So yeah, it there's no need to feel bad or apologize. It happens. I mean, it's life. And so, I feel like this is just an extension of what we do. Uh, but if we don't do it, we still make ourselves available through other avenues. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so again, this is just one of the ways that Yolanda feels led to give back, and I am following her lead. And
Just to come on here and have these discussions. And I want to tell y'all, we're gonna start being relaxed. I want y'all to come in your PJs. Uh
they probably already had their PJs on. It's just us.
I know y'all come comfortable and look, we always tell you you're welcome to jump on the live with us because we have room for other people on the platform. So if you want to come on and say
Yeah,
hi or answer a question or ask a question, you are definitely able to do so.
we welcome you.
Hmm. So LaQuinda, you were saying that school is getting ready to go back in session. And a
Yeah.
lot of people have been off for the summer. Some people have been off for the summer. And
Mhm.
respect and boundaries is important. And so we kind of want to touch on that tonight.
Yeah, I just as we were kind of brainstorming what to talk about, this time of year is so we need to bring you on. What you trying to rub it in, you laying in the bed in your sleep shirt?
Right.
Turn your light on and come join us. But no, so in addition to this being like back to school time, I know some schools are starting in the next week or two. Some still have almost a month left. Some are already back. But just that shift back to the school climate, along with the political climate that's going on, I just think boundaries and respect um, are really, really, really important right now. Um, these are challenging times for everyone, and it's not uncommon for everybody to be a little on edge, uh,
Mhm.
just with so much uncertainty, even with parents going from the stress of having to of having your kids in the house every day to the adjustment of them going back to schools. Some people deal with separation anxiety. um, make it some people are going to be dealing with the financial strain of having to supply clothes and shoes and
School
everything else
supplies.
that's needed for multiple children. People have a lot of stress on them, and so I think that it's important that we don't lose our humanity on either side of things. uh, because everybody's dealing with something. Educators, they got to deal with, you know, all the stress of their jobs, plus their children, plus you and your children and your attitude. Like it can be a lot on everybody. And I think that sometimes we just lose sight of everybody's human. Nobody's above a mistake. And just extending grace or silence. If you ain't got no grace to give, just be quiet.
Yep.
Okay, the workshops work. Like they work you over. It can be so draining for educators to prepare to educate. You know, it's a lot. That misconception that teachers have the summer off, a lie. A real big lie. Um and there is often no compassion given to educators. Uh,
Yes, because y'all have a hard job.
woo, listen, Linda.
Hats off to you.
I I know how I've made it. The grace of God, because like some of the things that you and some of the things that you are faced with um as an educator, and then you have to navigate, and you don't have the leeway to be human. Sometimes I'm just gonna be honest, you can't show feelings, whether that's positive or negative. Getting too close, being too vulnerable can put you in harm's way. Not being I get in trouble because I ain't bubblegum enough. I ain't
Oh, okay.
I get in trouble because I'm not sweet honey baby all
Mm.
the time. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know what to
They
tell
better
them.
love you for who you are.
But no, but no, they don't. Like it's crazy. I've literally been reprimanded for not being friendly.
How can that even be?
Because teachers are expected to always be bubblegum. We're always, I'll say, educators. We're always expected to be accommodating in the way that each person wants us to be. So we have to, and I know I'm speaking in general terms, and this is not these are not absolutes. And let me say this is not about one district in particular, because I've worked for several and I've had similar experiences in different places. However, I
Mhm.
said what I said. There's always this expectation that as the educator, you have to change everything to accommodate each individual person. And so it can be hard for educators to set boundaries because we often aren't given that freedom. And it's not about being mean per se,
Yeah.
but not even the boundary of saying, okay, this is the process, and I ask that you respect the process. It's no, you give this person what they want when they're in front of you, and this person what they want when they're in front of you. You know what I mean? And so it makes it, that's one of the things that's so stressful for educators, because I think you have a set of standards that you're supposed to follow, and you're supposed to teach this, but then you have all these other little factors that come into play, um, that impede that, uh, and it just makes it really, really challenging. Kendra, yeah, we're in sugar. Listen, me and Kendra was in the same district, baby. Copy and paste, because we stayed in trouble.
Say, I'm not sugar and spice and everything nice. I'm getting the job done.
Sometimes with a smile.
Oh,
But at all times, the job got done. And that's
yes.
yeah, we stayed in trouble together. Child, we stayed
Okay.
in trouble.
Now
But we
I
did
would.
our jobs. Like we did our jobs, and that's the thing. Like you don't even get to have a person that be your own person sometimes. It's they want sugar and spice and everything nice. And if nice to this person is this thing, you be that. And if nice to that person is that thing, you be that. And at the end of the day, you can so easily lose yourself because you're trying to be everything to everybody else. And that is, I believe that is why so many educators are medicating.
So that leads me to my question. Do you feel like, because that sounds like a lot of stress. Do you
It
feel
is.
like educators, may need assistance with mental health challenges, or do you feel like that brings on mental health challenges?
Oh, it definitely does.
That
Um,
stress?
Oh, absolutely. The job itself is stressful. Think about how stressful it is for you to try to teach your one or two children how to do something. So you
Yeah.
put 20 children in a room, uh, from different backgrounds, different home lives, different ability levels, different emotional maturity levels. And then you're supposed to teach them all the same set of standards. Like
Oh,
it's very stressful. And then somebody can walk in your room at any time to observe you. And in addition to managing behaviors, you have to manage academics, teach standards and
hi, Miss
uh
Toy. Hi, Miss Rosita. Hey, Lakeisha.
heavy on the bottle of the Bible. Both, Jasmine. Flip it both. The bottle and the Bible. but it's so much. The state actually now provides um mental health services for hi Trish. Hey
Hey,
Christine.
Trish.
Um they provide I can't remember exactly how many, but they do provide a certain number of sessions for free
Oh,
to
good.
now the thing is, like, you have to call this number and they'll email you a link and a list of providers and you can choose from there. So it's not like open to get anybody that you want, but that is a service that they have started to provide, and I'm sure it will expand over time. Um, and our insurance is crummy, so copays are typically expensive.
Mm.
For even if even though insurance will cover it, the deductible or the copay is typically pretty expensive. But
Oh,
uh
wow.
yeah, you need the bottle and the Bible and some pills a lot of times. um Most educators are medicated in some shape or form during the school year. I take 2 anxiety meds a day. In the summer, don't need as much. Yeah, and I know people who have literally had to walk away from education because of the mental strain. Like, literally, it was making them physically sick. They walked away and felt better. No longer had the migraine headaches, no longer had the panic attacks. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, I
Uh,
know that we are credentialed with a couple of EAP companies, but I mean, I would encourage them to use their resources, especially if it's free to you.
yeah. Um, like I said, it's a service that they provide. Now, I will say this: in our area, one of the challenges is there have are not very many providers in the area. Like, when I looked, the closest one was in Greenville, Mississippi.
Oh,
Um, And so, it's just a matter of figuring out what works for you and setting those boundaries. It's hard to do. It's hard to do because a lot of times you feel like you don't have the freedom to do that because you are held in such a high regard. Like, teachers are supposed to be the exception, or I'll say educators are supposed to be the exception to the rule, right? Like, we could literally lose our license for certain pictures on the internet, or you know
oh yeah, the ethics rules that y'all have to
yeah,
abide.
yeah, like, if there's a drink on the table, just different things like that. Like, the standards are, or the ethical expectations for us are so much higher. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be a standard, but what what your mama doing? Hmm, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
those are the things that make there is a great flight away from education, and I don't think people really realize how um people are turning away. Who would want to deal with this kind of stress? And you can post videos on TikTok and make quadruple.
Right. But we need so many educators. I know last year my twins had a wonderful teacher. Like, she went above and beyond. Miss Emily Sanders, she taught them in first grade, and we were having some difficulties with Anthony. Um I'm telling you, that lady went above and beyond.
Yeah,
But I know that you don't always get that. And I just say it was favor.
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, Kendra, most of the time it's not the kids, it's the grown folks, it's the people with no educational background people who haven't been in a classroom setting for years. Yeah, I think I agree. The biggest problem is most of the people who make decisions about education either haven't been in the classroom in years or have never been in the classroom. And so they have no clue what it's actually like.
So what would
Uh,
you say to parents to parents to help them navigate the start of the school year and building a good rapport with their child's teacher?
um, so the first thing that I would say to parents is to understand that who your child is with you isn't always who they are in other settings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would encourage parents to advocate for your child, but also listen uh, before you jump to a conclusion. And what I mean by that is, yes, speak up for your child. Listen, ask your child how their day went, but have a conversation with the teacher or other adults before you make up your mind about what happened, and look at um, the total situation, right? Not just individual instances, and develop a relationship with your child's teacher. Uh, more than more than just when something bad happens. Because a lot of the expectation to reach out is put on teachers, um and a lot of time, and that is one of the responsibilities, but it's also your responsibility to check in with your child. Every teacher has an email. Most if not all, I know Arkansas public schools, your child has a hack account where you can log in and see their grades. You don't have to wait till progress reports. So be proactive.
And most
I,
teachers will give you their phone number.
most teachers will, um, but just be respectful. Yeah, can set routines for your child. Um,
Oh yeah,
that's
definitely.
good, Christina. Set expectations with them and get involved. Like, don't be proactive. Don't wait until the child is failing and then expect the teacher to give them a whole bunch of makeup work. Check what's going on with them. Um, and be understanding that in addition to teaching your child, the teacher has other children in there that they have to teach and work with, and they probably have their own children that
They're
that they
having
have to
to
engage with. So make it a collaborative effort. Um and another thing, and some people may disagree with this, but if you're going to disagree with the teacher, try not to do it in front of the child. Be a
mm.
united front. I think that's important. um,
Oh, I totally agree.
because when children, because I can't tell you how many children, will come to school and say, "My mama said I ain't gotta listen to you," or they hear the mama cursing the teacher out, and it causes the child to respect the teacher less.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they do tell us everything. We know all your business, all of it. uh, Kendra said, parents should start to teach kids routines and yes, be consistent. Yeah, understand how the teacher runs the classroom, right? So you can be a united front. So if that's whether you agree with the process or not, most of the processes that are in place and the procedures that are in place in a classroom are there for a reason. So before you say something negative about it, ask the teacher, well, my child said that you wouldn't let them go to the bathroom, or you wouldn't let them go to their backpack. Before you tell them, dog, if you do what you go get, that's, I bought that backpack, whatever. Ask them, hey, why can't they just go to their backpack when they want to? And more than likely there is a reason for that. So just try to be proactive with communicating, be consistent with routines, check in with your child, check in with their grades, be a united front.
Be mindful of their conference periods.
Yeah. Uh, and before you know, call or pop up, send an email, or call and leave a message, ask for a return call.
Mm,
Send an email. Most teachers respond pretty promptly to emails. Because think about it, do you want the teacher popping up at your job when your child cutting up, or on your lunch break because your child cut up? Like, I've seen people get attitudes with teachers, like, oh, they don't want to be bothered. But a lot of times teachers don't get a lunch break, or
right.
they really get a prep. And so, when you show, and there are times when it's necessary, but you showing up unannounced, they might feel a little irritated because I didn't get to eat lunch. And so my prep was the only time that I had to eat or to do this, or to meet with my child's teacher, or whatever the case was. So just be understanding of their humanity.
Hmm.
um be consistent, be proactive, and be a team.
Okay. So my next question is like, how do we, as parents, or coworkers, not just in the education field, but when you work with someone and you see that they're struggling mentally, um, I think it's important to be able to go to them and talk to them, um, about that struggle and about the resources that are available to them. And a lot of times people aren't comfortable with that. I
Mhm.
guess we probably are more comfortable with it because of what we do. Um, but I like to kind of hear from some of y'all if y'all have seen this in the workplace and you know somebody who may need therapy or need to talk to someone, but you don't necessarily know how to approach them.
Yeah, what do y'all say? How what have you needed somebody to either say to you or do to you, like when you were struggling? Like, what do you feel like you would have been receptive to? I think sometimes just
That's a good way.
pe- people say that again.
I said that's a good way to ask it.
uh I think sometimes people just seeing your humanity, you know what I'm saying, like just seeing you're struggling and saying, giving you a little day brightener, uh doing something thoughtful, can go a long way.
Oh, y'all quiet about that question.
Hmm. I
Miss Gwen, if you're still here, I announced the community block party at the beginning of the show. What time does it start on Saturday? Or anyone that's on here, maybe from Gates Chapel, who or somebody who knows?
she just said I told them straight up they need some therapy and give them recommendations on who to see. Yeah.
Oh,
uh
good for
she
you.
said, Kendra, when I see someone you can visibly tell they're overwhelmed, I ask, how can I help? Do you need me to listen? Do you need me to offer advice? Do you need me to give you? Yeah. Um,
That's
uh,
good.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Lakeisha said it starts at 11.
Uh,
Thank you, Keisha.
it's when I tell you Kendra is like one of the most thoughtful people on earth, like probably any planet, but I know for sure Earth. Uh, but one thing I could say in one of the schools where I used to work, and Jasmine's mom was actually the principal. Um, she was really, really good about, or I'll say we all were, but it was due in large part to the type of leader that she was. Um, she would literally, if she saw we were overwhelmed, she would literally come in and teach us teach for us so that we could get a break. Like
Yeah.
go just either leave for the day or go take a break. Like having leaders and people who see you're struggling, and I try to do that. Like if a coworker or friend need me to cover for them, I'll try to to do that for them. um but I think having that kind of support that you can say, hey, I need a minute, and they come and uh, cover your classroom, or answer your phone, or whatever it is, just having someone that can give you the time to breathe. I have um my principal, well, he's not my principal anymore, and I'm sad about it. But I remember one day this past school year, I had a parent call, and she had some very choice words for me, um, because of her child's grades. Now, I do not teach a subject at them people's school, but that lady, yeah, it got ugly. So I did not. I was able to resist the urge to say the things that I wanted to say. Because if you know me, you
Hey.
know uh, I can get real slick about the mouth. But I remain professional. I did at one point tell her I will not continue to let you talk to me like this. So you can change the conversation up, or I'm gonna hang up the phone. Uh, she continued to talk very nasty, and I hung up the phone. I called my principal uh, and explained the situation to him. He was very upset. Uh, Let me delete your comment. Um, uh, but he was just like, just get out the building. He was like, just go, just leave, go, calm down. Just come back whenever you're ready. But just having that someone who supports you enough to know that you're still a person, and
Right.
sometimes you need that, goes a long way. Christina
Mhm.
said it's all about that support and knowing you have that, right, knowing that you have somebody who gets it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be professional, but you can only be cursed out so many times without, and these parents get real rowdy.
No, not just the parents, because sometimes the clients will call and get rowdy.
Oh yeah, they do too.
And I have to say, hey, you're not gonna talk to my staff like that. That's
Yeah,
not acceptable. We treat you with respect, and we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect as well.
yeah, and that's for anybody, anywhere. Parents, anytime you're working with people, they can get real ugly,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you snap back, now you're the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because people who provoke, they never tell what they did to push you. They only tell how you responded. Um, which goes back to that, setting boundaries, which I feel like is so hard for educators to do, because we just do not have the freedom a lot of times, um, to do that, just because of all of the entities that we have to answer to and the expectations that are placed on us. Uh, it's so hard to do.
We have
Uh,
about 10 minutes left tonight. We would like to hear from you to know what topics you would like to talk about moving forward.
and while you all are commenting, I will say I know we just kind of dominated the conversation with education, but a lot of the things that I'm saying carry over to other professions,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's therapists, human DHS worker,
Yeah.
customer service worker, child care, elderly care. Some of these things,
Non-profits.
yes, anytime you're dealing with people, they be peopling, and it gets rough. But you have to, I think one thing that I've learned in these 23 years, I said it was 24, but I just finished my 23rd year in education. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. 5 more. Um, is that just like with being a parent, being a spouse, being a caregiver, it's so easy to lose yourself in what you do, trying to meet the expectations that everybody else sets for you, trying to be everything everybody else needs you to be. It's so easy to lose yourself. Um, but had I known earlier in my career and had I had the strength um, to stand up for myself, I earlier I would have saved and set some boundaries. I would have saved myself a lot of tears and frustration.
Mm.
Uh, but it had to happen the
Yeah,
way
it's
that it
all in
did.
growth.
Huh?
I said it's all about growth.
Right, right. It had to happen the way that it did, and so I don't. I say this all the time. God uses everything, uh, and so I feel like everything that I went through, because I've been through some things uh, in my profession, but I feel like God uses it all. And so if you are in a frustrating place, like I know, some people. Uh, Educators in particular, like this time of year is so stressful and so anxiety invoking, just knowing that you're about to have to go back into that grind of the stress of the classroom, the school setting. So I challenge you, and even if it's you're not in education, wherever you are, I challenge you to figure out where you are, who you are, and what you need, and start making decisions every day that get you to that space. Um, because if you lose yourself, you've lost everything.
Hmm. I just love resolution staff. Look at this. Lashandra said, if teachers are willing to give up their lunch free period, I can do telehealth or come to the school and see them instead of them trying to figure out when they can come to the office. I will bring snacks.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Yes. Now I'll say this. We may not have always been able to get a whole hour in, but I had a teacher and we would meet on her conference period.
Hmm.
And we met weekly.
Yeah.
Yep. And we still do so.
Okay. Christina said, I hope I'm wording this correctly, but working for nonprofit organizations and the boss hires family members and fires you through text. Ooh, how do you go about handling that?
Oh
You
my.
mean like from an emotional standpoint? Because that may be something that we can address next Monday, dealing with nepotism, and can just continue our conversation on jobs
And respect, yeah.
and dealing with things on jobs. Is that what you mean, Christina? Because nepotism is real.
I
You have
don't
to.
think that now what I will say is I don't have a problem with nepotism in the workplace. Because I feel like if you have a job, if you are an employer and you can offer your family member a job, as long as you are not providing favoritism, I think that is fine.
Yeah, yeah. The favoritism of nepotism is the problem. Like
Yeah.
you have, it's how you do it. Um, okay, so Monday, if that's okay, we can just continue our conversation with how to handle job stresses and terminations kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kendra said we have to see our value before we change our price tag. Because one thing about a job, they gonna always do what's best for them. Education is a business. Human services is a business. The mental health, social emotional health is all a business. And businesses and corporations are always going to choose their bottom line over your health. And so you have to give
I
yourself,
don't think I've learned that lesson yet.
huh?
I said, I don't know. I don't think I've learned that lesson yet.
No, no.
I'm not cutthroat enough.
But you are in some ways.
Am I?
Yes. That's gonna be so crazy to me. So I'll be like, Yolanda don't play. But then in some areas you'd be like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But yeah.
Lakeisha, you are right. People don't always do what's right or fair.
Yeah, I learned that lesson and left the job. Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to. You have to, it's sometimes it is trading one set of problems for another. But pick your poison. You rather figure out how you're gonna pay some bills, or you rather be stressed out, having migraines, panic attacks. Like sometimes you just gotta figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we hope that you have enjoyed us tonight. Do y'all have any more questions for us? Okay. Well, you all be well, and we will see you here next Monday
at 8
at
o'clock.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Miss Jacobs.
Yes.
Thank you, Christina. I was about to say next Saturday, child, Monday.
Mental Health Mondays.
Good night.